for it is you need to make sure that there's a hero that you can lane against that you're going to win against. In Wraith King, it's like you just stun the skeletons, they all die.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out offlane Monkey King, and I'm also happy for the debut of this casting duo on the mainstream. Say hello to Avo Plus and Seek and Strike.
Hello guys, and thank you Tsunami for the nice pass. We started in the B stream, now we are here. The panel's very excited for the draft, Richie. They really like the OG picks. Let's see if they are right or if it will Kyle OG. We're gonna see very soon as our match is gonna be underway.
Yeah, I will say the last time we casted an offlane Monkey King, I believe, was for the previous iteration of Fate back in DTC1 for Eastern Europe. If you recall, that was back when Sexy Matt went to that offlane Monkey King. I'm hoping that that Seb's got something different prepared this time around, and I certainly expect he does. But I really like what Aoi was
I'll be signing autographs.
So that is something that Sexy Matt at least was able to show us in the last match.
I'll be signing autographs out front.
I like the sound of taking that tower away. Alliance early makes their jungling like
30 seconds to battle.
Wraith King a little bit more difficult. Alliance will be able to move through really nicely. I mean, they've got Moonlight Shadow, they've got Monk Axe, who eventually Kumail goes for the same build, is going to be going for that Manta Blink Shard, so should be a really exciting.
I feel like it's similar to last year's where you actually get the really quick constant fight by OG at one point, you know, when Axe and Monkey line. The build I've always seen on Seb is actually rushing that Witchblade. They use a bunch because of course that works like a better Echo Saber, and then you are also very active to fight. The damage is not as important as the slow, and of course it does work on those statues, so I used to love that build. But I want to point out something from Alliance draft that I really liked as well from them. They're actually copying, or that's not copying, but they're taking inspiration, let's say, from a draft that PSGLGD did in the Major as well. If you actually looked at the Major, the Tiny had really terrible win rate unless he was paired with Ancient Apparition, because the Ancient Apparition allowed him to get those solo kills really easily. And at PSGLGD found out that you could actually pair with a different hero, Scarab Mage, and have a very similar result. With both the damage amplification, of course, Mystic Flare, you kill almost any hero, and it makes Tiny much more useful. I think the Alliance is trying to use that strat as well. With one of Hanskin's also classical heroes, he's a really good Scarab Mage.
Well, we'll see how it's going to be working out for them here. We do have this solo lane up top, though. Seb ought to be able to pretty easily bully away S4, so it's that try down bottom, of course. Taking that first point in the Timber Chain just to make sure that Seb's not able to get up those Jingu stacks.
Nothing is certain but ice and
Try lane, though. Got decent setup here available. Arrow eventually stops it. You there's a decent amount of kills.
I think it's a bit difficult for Alliance because no matter what lane you set the Timber to, you know, you're going to be a bit, it's going to be a difficult lane. You know, that's why the Monkey King offlane was such a good idea as well. Yeah, it destroys Wraith King in lane, but Axe can deal with him nicely as well in this situation because, of course, you have the safe lane advantage, and Monkey King can continue to put pressure against the Timber. One of the classic counters was the Lunar, but still up there. And then you rotate the Morphling, you do the Morph strats that the panel talked about, and you have some really solid ideas here from OG from the lanes. And then the Snowball is easy, right? They're going to wait for that 20-minute timing with the Axe and just go ham from there. While Alliance want to get that farm on the Wraith King as soon as possible and try to use the Blink Dagger activation on Limp a bit earlier than that.
I wonder how Topson's going to want to build this one. Maybe the Echo Saber just for a little bit of extra smack. But, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually try and burst this Morphling if you more of that style build as Nico ran down a bit by Sumail. Forwards here for Alliance level 1 now. No, eager to use that second skill point that he's got here is with Saksa.
He loses a bunch of experience here as an Axe, but the lane is just really strong. And the Skywrath Mage, I don't feel like does as much. I've seen recently the fourth Skywrath Mage is very often will actually use at many points in Concussive Shot or Ancient Seal. And in lane, what you'll do is you'll harass with your nice range and your actually decent attack damage. But against an Axe, that's just not as viable. The Battle Hunger can be kind of brutal against you. It's a difficult lane to run here, and the Magic Sticks completely cover them from potential Arcane Bolt kills as well. With No-Till, at one point, maybe he can go for a single point in the Cold Embrace, and that'll keep Sumail nice and healthy.
already going pretty rough for S4. I mean, Seb is out of control already, 18-4 compared to the 9-0. So unsurprisingly, working very, very nicely. Fourth reverted waves.
Yeah, it's tough to like. You're gonna have to do a recovery period for Alliance at some point. They do have some really good ganking potential around that Blink Dagger on Tiny. So as long as his lane goes well, you can combine that with Skywrath Mage and Hoodwink, and you have insane magical burst. I think even kills Morphling, honestly. Even if you don't get him before the attribute shift, it's good enough. In fact, talking about Morphling dying, our server couldn't even believe it. Limp just surprised him there with an avalanche and murdered more Thompson. Out of mana, so he couldn't really attribute shift as effectively.
Not easy. It's also going to have a little bit of a snowball effect here. We can already see Limp meandering on over and snagging that
out of cost, actually. All right.
Yep.
With the tree on top of that. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, if you can get those early kills, Morphling has really low range, why not? You can go for it, and that gives you Tiny the advantage that you're looking for anyway, because you're going to be playing around him. Well, at least that's the idea for me from the Alliance draft. Before OG can get online. So it's not too bad, even if the lanes aren't going ideally for them.
Yeah, a bit of a laning build here already early on with those Falling Blade and the Brave Edge. Quite a lot better. Wow, great kill on Sumail. A corner shot into the Bushwhack, though. Allow Hanskin Nikobaby to pump in a little bit of damage. A little bit too much damage, I should say, that Sumail could actually handle.
They guessed correctly the rotation from the Mirana. Go immediately for the axe as soon as they saw that. Hey, this is the small recovery, but the Monkey King will get online, so Seb could still be a threat for you. He might be able to fight much sooner together with his teammates. In the middle lane, Limp tries to do the same thing again, but Thompson this time has mana, first of all, and second of all was ready for this. Not full agility when he was caught. Limp won't be able to get that sneaky kill a second time. Won't have to show the replay a second time. They knows. He's a fan of pinball.
Seb's already got an Orb of Corrosion on the way, though, a full Orb of Corrosion, so he's going to be able to give S4 the boot relatively quickly, up to level 6. Or with Timber Chain at least able to get just a little bit of farm every now and then. Again, it's just combination here. Lane.
Yeah, the Timber versus Monkey matchup is not the worst matchup, because usually there's a support to help you out and mitigate some of the impact. Compared to a Luna that pairs much nicer with that support, Monkey King is better in the 1v1. But that was the ideal situation you got. And because this is your, per se, weakest lane, is the hard lane, right, for OG, making this work for you makes your bottom lane much easier. And again, stops the tempo from Alliance. Saxa just discovered a bunch of stacks here. They probably will be able to steal this. They have an axe, so I mean, it's honestly the perfect lineup to steal stacks with. Once he gets Vanguard, you're done for. That was Hoodwink mainly stacking it, actually. Hanskin could be in trouble here, but there's no arrow to follow up. They don't want to get a kill. Sumail's just looking for the easy stack money.
I mean, even if Sumail didn't have Vanguard, we've got the complexity strat already that Kyle was keen to bring up and take credit for, because of course they did do it. Seb, rotation top lane from Limp. The Avatos is going to be enough damage along with that chakram for the kill. And as I was saying, here's no town with Golden Brace if they needed it, but they didn't. Sumail very easily able to tank these up, so all that efficiency. Thank you very much, FNG, for those stacks. It'll be a nice goal ejection here for Sumail.
At this point now, I was insulted for FNG. But by the way, let's not forget, this was the score all along. We did this for Sumail. Very happy about this, of course. And Berserker Skull, I don't think this should be a kill. Nikobaby has a stun, but the arrow's coming in. Unfortunately, a bit too late. Nico can get away. Regardless, since your axe is this far, I mean, you're happy as OG. You don't need to get any kills. On the Lions side, though, Limp is starting to get online.
They might try again here for Seb. Limp is still idling in the area. They've got a ward down as well, watching over that triangle. But they should know that there hasn't been anyone mid for some time. Calling that one out. Seb playing it very safe here underneath that tier 1 tower. Limp daring him to go try and contest the creep wave. You can see how low they keep that creep just to try and bait him in. There goes Limp yet again. Avalanche to toss. Oh, he tosses the creep though. Is that going to be enough damage? Not quite. TP's now coming through from the likes of OG as Limp. Oh, they actually will be able to chop down Seb. Or in the meantime, escaping in one swift move.
S4 was just on his way out. Got Seb along the way. 4 points in Timber Chain. He knows there's no point in maxing reactive armor against the Monkey King. Instead, get the Timber Chain, more damage to farm creeps later, have a better escape, and on top of that, he can kill us on Seb. The rotations have been on point by Limp. Again, they're just playing around the Tiny. They know Wraith King will be able to recover. They're just going to get some kills for him, get him the experience required, and also mitigate some of the impact Seb had in the early game. The net worth between Timber and Monkey King now is even. Limp even finds an arcane room. That's going to be great for one more Avatos here.
And immediately going for that Blink Dagger, so we're not going to be seeing a very similar build that Thompson tried this morning.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Echo Saber, what was it? Kaya? Oh, it was Sanjin Yasha, wasn't it?
So it's Midas into Echo Saber. Sorry, Midas into Blink into Echo Saber, then the Sanjin Yasha, yeah. We saw the heat map, by the way. Limp has been in the top lane for a while. He knows he just lane to gank, now taking some stacks. Thompson wants to disturb him. Here comes the dash to strike, but Limp, he just can't take these creeps. He's a bit too afraid. Bottom lane, Nikobaby is also fighting against Samael, but more interesting to see what happens to these stacks as Saksa joins them. S4 wanted to protect his mid laner. Again, with the lack of reactive armor, though, you don't want to fight it on just yet.
It's level 3 already, so and he's got the casual cloak of that magic resistance. So as soon as that he sidesteps that arrow from Saksa, he's not too scared of these guys. You do need to land set up arrow to be able to
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Actually has maxed the Jingu Mastery,
Radiant's
by the way.
middle tower is under attack.
Should be. I'm a little bit surprised not to see him take a point in the Primal String. Not because, I mean, that's kind of normal for a carry to take points into Primal String, because that's actually what you farm with. But he's going to be forced to lane a little bit longer. At least his rotation game isn't going to be as strong if he just had a single point. The idea is just S4 closer towards the bottom of this table, and it's a far mission accomplished.
I think the idea is similar to the Midas we saw earlier on Thompson, whereas I don't want to fight now, so why should I build for it? Right? The ideally Alliance doesn't come to my point of map. I'm not going to try to gank to create space, because I'm going to try to punish them instead when they try to go for me. I'm okay with that. OG has demonstrated this kind of thought process before. Alliance will have to now make the plays and make them correctly, and now the ball's on the Alliance court. Let's see. Limp is very close to that Blink Dagger, not quite yet, as Nikobaby desperately trying to find farm. He's not going to take this tower by any means. We're just going to be waiting for Limp here to come online. As FNG, by the way, the king of stacks. Oh my goodness, 9 stacks. I think he stacks at least once per minute. Yeah, actually every single minute.
Bottom. All try to TP out, but Great Fire Blast in a second, and it will be used to kill the king. The one true king, of course, as Seb now actually having TP down bottom. Channel that ultimate up. S4 is able to escape before we can get off the Jingu Mastery stack. Oh, got it actually. We'll be able to lifesteal off the wave, full HP. Seemingly ready to use that level 1 reincarnation with Alliance to bring more people over. There's the Avatos. Just the toss actually needed out from Limp to get the kill onto Seb. They have at least gotten the first reincarnation pop, but no one else here from OG to defend the tier 1 tower.
Are fortified.
Not even wasting time. He knows. He needs to go mid immediately. Not chasing after the Mirana. This goes back to farm, defend the tower as you mentioned. I think the farm he's sacrificing by going to other lanes, even if these ganks are not always successful, is worth it for the space that you're creating, and Timbersaw being able to get online. Hell, even the Wraithing is getting online just because of the rotations that Space Limp has made. And then he can always recover just taking the farm from the neutrals here, which is mainly the stacks. I mean, all this farm you're seeing from the neutrals have been the stacks from FNG, some of which actually got stolen by the Morphling.
Yeah, very true. Plus, this was meant to be even higher. If you recall, we did steal this stack right where Nikobaby sat a bit earlier. So now we'll be able to take that and his early game quite a bit. Samael was going to look at
that break. That's going to bother him. He can't spin any longer, so he can't take these creeps. FNG knows this, gets close. The bushwhack only finds creeps, but actually clears the cap. FNG, he makes stacks, he takes stacks. This man, he's playing the jungle game today.
Yeah, he is. Playing a suitable hero for it as well with the Squirrel, I would say. It's a really, really nice job there. That is going to let them know that there's vision up here, but because, you know, naturally the last troops in the camp are going to be the fact that he picks all of those up means that it's going to be the most annoying thing possibly. By the way, is making really great progress towards that man style.
Another sharpshooter. I mean, FNG here, I think, more than trying to kill Samael, is just trying to disturb his farm by taking away his passive. I think it's perfect correction. Yeah, so we're gonna see what FNG did here. I love that we get a replay for the farm. That bushwhack was on the go,
actually. And Skin will open up with the Pale already finished up, and they will be able to catch Sumail, who's just farming one single Ancient camp.
Okay, well, that worked out for them. That was the blink reveal for Limp, right?
Into the smoke play, as well as a quote-unquote fail of this quarter reveal. Not really much of a reveal, but Hanskin sure made it look really damn useful. Going through Sumail in no time.
Oh, Winter Skirt set up for the arrow. Here comes Limp though, kills Notail immediately. Can S4 survive this? For now, he will. Limp is the target. Limp is quite tanky, and they just silence Seb. He can't get off the Wukong's command. They throw a tree at him, Seb. It's slow. They actually use the Hoodwink's tree to Timber Chain too. S4 getting closer to the Monkey King. He will get that kill. Revenge for the lane. They even bushwhack Thompson. He's been silenced. He's not actively shifting, so S4 wants a second kill. The Perimeter's call from protector from being recalled, which means he can't get that last bit of damage in. Alliance won't be able to finish off Thompson, but they do get a nice little Monkey King.
It's not gonna go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just getting the Monkey King was quite a play there as well. The arrow nearly connecting. Oh, mid lane actually. Saksa, he's got 2 leap charges here. Maybe just kind of
that A-card shot play. That was on point. That was really good. I never expected you to do that play with Timber, so that was very clever.
Really nicely done. Of course, the arrow that was meant to lock down S4 a bit longer through the curse, unfortunately, just got beaten by a creep. So OG, we're expecting a longer duration stun from that curse. Honestly, the Supersaw were really surprised with Ted.
And S4 now is completely online from what was a pretty bad lane. He's even going to still go for the Kai and Sanji build. So you have pretty much a tri-core here for Alliance, whereas OG, the Monkey King, lags behind. He's a good utility core, doesn't recover at least with the Timber Saw. Finds Nikobaby. Actually, Nikobaby found him instead, Seb, and make him invisible. That shotgun actually broke the bushwhack, not ideal. He's still been broken, but he's going to be able to get away. No dust. Because they're all cores. Why would you carry dust?
He's also really tanky. He's got Hooded Defiance already, so even though that was a pretty well-charged sharpshooter, it didn't all that much to him. Okay. Max able to kill it. Part of me can clear that easy camp and heal.
Dire's top tower
Limp is actually going for the by the way.
Radiant's middle tower
is taking notes. It's a tip of the hat here towards Thompson.
No, I mean,
yeah.
This is what they always do. Like Echo said,
it
gives you the burst, right? The difference in Thompson's build was definitely the Midas and SNY. We'll see if he builds the SNY later. Morphling, the target here, Limp. Okay, smoke broke, so he knows they must be in the camp, but Thompson actually sees him. Oh no! Pushed him to the high ground. Limp, but he has a blink dagger. He's fine. He's just biding his time. He's like, I swear, you hit nothing there. I'm nowhere. He just disappeared.
Top tower has fallen.
It didn't work out for them. Seb actually took the tower in the top lane. A bunch of shenanigans brought him that lead to nothing, which allow OG to at least take a top tower and expand their map further.
Yep, they got a D ward out of that, so you know it's not all time wasted at the very least. With pretty fresh ward out from OG. So now it's going to be a little bit scarier to go farm in their jungle, where unbeknownst to them, there are 2 Alliance wards in the bottom area of the map and over. Saksa, though, doing the same on the other side. That aggressive ward. Usually that implies that they're next to try and push it to tier 1 tower, usually mid lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Alliance, we're going to wrap.
See, Veil Discord's available soon. This is the combo I was talking about earlier with the Skyrath Mage Tiny.
Radiant
murders honestly anything they find, even a Morphling. Or perhaps a Winter Wyvern who is really keen on scouting them out. No-Tail. Oh, Winter's Curse used, so he doesn't want to die. Actually cancel the Blink Tag with the Arctic Burn. Smart play by No-Tail. Really didn't want to die there. I mean, it's honestly worse than Winter's.
He wants to live, yeah. That ward might have been scouted here, but it looks like for now Alliance aren't to get a sentry out there immediately. So OG farming confidence in the jungle. With Mail, his progress towards Manta nearly finished. In fact, now he's got it with that last little spin. Style completed.
Radiant's bottom tower
broken the Monkey King. They have more stuns and the double damage, but no one can save just yet, which means they don't have enough to actually stop that TP. Meanwhile, Thompson actually going to be breaking this tower. There's 2 fights going on. They're trying to kill this Burrow in the top lane. As Thompson, they know the 2 heroes Thompson, so he's going to be vulnerable and destroyed. Alliance, another easy kill for them here in the mid lane. Top, they can't stop another TP, the bane of Limp for now, but they got a kill on Thompson, so they're quite happy. Hanskin trying to be-ward, found by the Monkey King. Seb is going to finish him off. But they still got a mid lane. I think they're quite happy with that. Even the ward got de-warded there.
Yep, that was him dying for the D-ward, which again is very useful because that's now 2 D-wards after not freshly placed observer wards, but definitely in the early half of those wards' lifespan. So we're playing with a little bit less vision now over on the side of OG, which makes it harder for Seb to rotate around as freely. It makes it hard for Sumail to know when and if he's able to farm safely, how far he wants to push. So it's a vision game. Really, really important to have versus a team that is going to be mobile. Yeah, but we, you know, the panel was talking about what do you use to punish a cold embrace, and Skywrath Mage is absolutely the answer. Easiest setup in the world here for a nice Mystic Flare, only to be buffed further by that Veil.
I do agree with the point they made about the 4-steps, though. I think you should pick up a couple of 4-steps here this game. Winter Wyvern and Mirana can both pick them up, quite useful. I mean, the Holy Lock is still a priority for the Winter, but later on, those 4-steps, not only do they stop you from being killed by the Mystic Flare combo, they might even be able to destroy trees, which gets you rid of the bushwhack. There's a couple of utilities on the 4-step ultimate. And the bottom lane this time, No-Kill still has that ultimate, but not the time to use it. Instead, they're looking for a tower here as Alliance expanding their map further. OG still hasn't gone to the point where they can play their game, you could say. The Axe still not online, needs that shard
Radiant's
first.
bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, Seb is going for the Echo Saber here, by the way, on the Monkey King. I think it's finished now, flying on the way towards him. This no longer slows, it hasn't for a while, by the way, but it no longer slows, or procs rather, on the Wukong Command Ultimate. So that's not a thing. But it is good for farm. Building up your Jingu stacks.
Under attack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for the fighter build, which seems to be the case here, right? With a hood, kind of build like a tanky Monkey King that can also just frontline. I think it's pretty solid. Like I said, Seb used to build the Witchblade when he was looking for the slow within those. But then again, he also used to build the Axe at that time. He's very greedy Monkey King. Probably not the case here. Instead, BKB, play more of the background. Monkey King seems appropriate for this game. Lim's really afraid of that tower. Hit it once, it moved. Oh no, gotta retreat immediately.
Radiant are scanning.
You never know if there's a monkey waiting for you right on top of the trees. Fortunately for them, he is currently bottom. There's Blink already for Nikobaby, so we were talking about getting ready to fight here with this Echo Saber. That is definitely a fighting item at the ready for the Wraith King. We can fight, though, here on the side of OG, because we've got a Vessel with 2 charges in it. There's a kill top lane, though, as Topson forced into the Hoodwink to utilize that Bushwhack. And that down bottom, though, they have the tree set, which is going to look easy out with. Going to be able to blink on in to stop that one. An Avalanche to keep him held down, and that kill is going open Nikobaby.
Is under attack.
Hearing the small things. Limp knows when you need to cancel a TP, you gotta go for cross first. Now, of the 0.5 seconds it takes to get there.
Prize is mine.
Meanwhile, we see the Hoodwink kill yet again. The observers don't miss a thing. But I think those kills bottom are much more important, as is the one no-tail now, Alliance. Yeah, you lost the Hoodwink, but he's your 5, so that's equivalent to the no-tail kill you just got. Meanwhile, you being able to take down the Monkey King is really, really valuable. No Wukong's command to defend your plays. S4 seems quite free here.
Yeah, he is not scared of anything. He's got Kai on Sanj.
Yeah, Sumail was trying to farm those ancients, but S4 is like, no, I want them. They're mine. What are you gonna do, Sumail? How are you gonna contest them? You can't.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Sumail,
attack.
by the way, in the last game, because I would say in the last game that he did play the carry axe, they did have a little bit of a better start than this. You know, it kills, or whatever, kills mean nothing. But I did still feel like a little bit of a better start. Do you remember if you went first for the shard instead of Blink Dagger?
Yes,
you did,
for
right?
the shard. Yes, but there was a reason for it, and it's actually similar to this game, we'll see. Because in that game, he was building up towards the Blink Dagger, then got killed right before, and he was down, he lost a fair amount of gold, and then needed to be in recovery mode for a while, which is why he went for the shard first. This game, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't consider like he's in recovery mode just yet. Maybe he thinks he has to fight with his team. Seb is committed to this outpost. Nikobaby also sends a skeleton army away. There's actually reinforcements coming the way of Alliance. All 4 smokes. Nikobaby's committed to taking the outpost back, and OG probably knows it's a trap.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they were setting a trap, but no, OG just really wanted the outpost there for a couple of seconds. And at least buys space, and it is a little bit of a bait, forcing those rotations, or I guess baiting those rotations. Sumail instead, go ahead and look up for a stop it at the triangle. In trouble, there's going to be Topson. He's going to be able to stay alive for now, and Arrow will hold on. Limp and Seb actually is going to leap in after this one. He's broken. The space got off Wukong's command. The Winter's Curse only catching on to Nikobaby. Leaping away, safe and sound, but Seb now back into his own arena is going to be killed off.
Alright, Topson walks back in though. He's hoping to kill off S4 using his own form. Constant burning, Nikobaby though, going off for Sumail. Does he have enough damage? Topson wants to help him out. In fact, this one almost dies there, but barely gets away. Here's Limp coming back with the Avalanche top combo, killing 2 cores at once. Alliance was just waiting for that combo to get back online so they could finally punish Sumail and Topson. They almost did it, but the choice to go for S4, the only core that was really staying around, of course, Wraith King had Reincarnation. You're not going to go for it first.
Okay.
It was just tough. What do you kill? The Tiny's a bit too slippery. The Hoodwink and Skyreth Mage are nowhere to be seen. Timbersaul's too tanky, and Wraith King has 2 lives. It's honestly a loser's game no matter who you pick.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Alliance, of course, getting the kills. They're going to be super happy with that, but also just establishing control here in the enemy triangle. This is going to further delay Sumail's Blink Dagger. He was just about to finish it off, and now he's going to have to hit a couple more small camps before he gets the Blink Dagger online. He will be ready to go, though. It's literally just a couple of camps, a couple of waves here, and then I suspect OG are going to be looking to smoke around that big power spike, because it is going to be able to chop through just about anyone, especially with this vessel on Soxa. They shouldn't really have too many difficulties here. Second life of Wraith King aside, of course.
Well, that's the difficulty, though. Your lineup has a fair amount of burst of the Axe and the Morphling, and against the Wraith King, he's the king against these kind of strats. I mean, Nikobaby struggling against the illusions. We see it. You know, you're meant to burst on the Wraith King. But if there's a hero that's pretty good against the carry axe, it'd be him. Strength hero, so nice HP gain, 2 lives, so you can deal with the Mama Style Berserker's Call initial bout of damage. We'll see as OG seems to be preparing for the next fight here with the smoke.
See who they can find into the jungle or into the triangle. Goes Seb, leaving up to another tree here. It's gonna break. Oh yeah, that's a kill onto FNG. Of course, just kind of throwing himself into the smoke gank, making sure that it escaped behind him. Or might be in trouble. Timber chain away before Seth.
Take the smoke though. I think that's fine. Honestly, I mean that smoke had to do so much because they had to regain high ground to be able to use it. Then you had to go and try to find the ideal kill. And like I said before, that's really Limp. I mean, you gotta kill Limp at the beginning of the fight. He is slippery if obviously he's not the first target, but you should be able to murder him. He's not that tanky. And then you get rid of a big bout of burst damage that Alliance has.
We've been holding on to a couple of smokes here, by the way, for OG. Soxa just had 3. He's now down to 2. And they kind of need to use this period to kind of fight themselves back into this game. Of course, kills don't mean anything, but 7k net worth lead is a little bit troubling here for OG. Especially because a lot of this is going to be on the Wraith King, who now has got the S and Y on top of that Radiance and he's big.
Yeah. Axe.
He's a shark.
Axe is going to struggle to kill him twice. That's the goal. We have the full build now, though, for the Axe, so he's come online now. Perhaps he might wait for the BKB. That will nullify some of the impact by Alliance, but Wraith King's only going to get fatter and fatter right now. In fact, you even might see Tiny start to transition, being more of a carry right now than just the first damage. You saw Karas as the first step towards that, giving you that attack speed so you can actually hit. Now with the shard, this transition is a bit smoother, as you actually can become a nice late game carry by having the tree grab always available to you.
And is basically just building into anti-Morphling. Got now the Aether Lens, the Veil to amp his damage, and longer cast ranges, of course, and immediately into Aeon Disc. Just knows if he can just kind of distract this Morphling for a little bit of the fight, but always have that kill threat over him. It's just something that we can't ignore.
Nikobaby has a haste rune, feels invincible, but is he? No, he thought about it twice. There's that moment with the hate where you think, I can do anything, and then immediately, yep, you go into play like this, that's 4. It's being bursted down. Now Sumail, having completed this build, does deal a fair amount of damage, and Timbersaw is no longer a big obstacle. Or a tanky obstacle.
Here. OG, blood in the water. They're going to go hunting for a shark now. A Seb into the triangle. Smoke will break, and they do have eyes on him. He's going to hunt back down. The Radiant for Arrow is just going to miss FMG. Mystic Flare, good damage onto Seb. Silent Stub. He is going to get the Cold Embrace heal. That'll keep him alive for now. It's not going to get the healing. He is now going to get aided now by at least the Winter's Curse. The Sumail with the 2-man call. Underneath that tier 2 tower, Hanskin will fall. Nikobaby still having his level 3 reincarnate, but it's Limp is the one in trouble now as the Axe army slowly spinning into death.
Dire's middle
unaided by that vessel, Limp continuing to try and run away. Thompson will wait for him after him, and it's going to be Sumail with it done. During the kill and ending a 6 times unstoppable streak here on Limp.
on-point teamfight execution by OG. That was exactly what we were talking about, right? I mean, the Timber Saw is a freebie there, sure. But then afterwards, you being able to kill the Tiny first, that was the way you had to do it. You catch the supports out of position. The Axe is not bothering or concerning himself with the Wraith King. On top of that, what actually saved the Monkey King there was the Holy Locket. Let's not forget that you can actually use it on teammates. And that extra bit of healing towards the end allowed Seb to stay alive. Really, really well played that teamfight in OG. This is what we saw, by the way, last game they played with the Axe carry. This is just a bit earlier, where teamfights, they reach a point where they're chaotic, and OG just rubs their hand together, like, this is where we relish, this is where we were born. And the chaos is one of us. And Alliance needs to have to deal with this. Unfortunately, Quincy Crew could not do so, but Alliance may have a better plan. They have the heroes to do it, for sure.
Yeah, they gotta be like super certain that if we use Mystic Flare and the Ancient Seal on someone that's not the Morphling, that you do end up getting that kill. Because at least then it's like an even fight, right? Or at least it's a 5v4 in that sense. Because if you use that combo of spells and Morphling is not affected by this, he's just going all in. There's nothing really that he's too scared of this game. You know, Bushwhack is always a threat. Great Fire Blast, he can usually master dodge. And that's kind of about it. At this stage, he's too tanky for Limp to just solo burst him.
See that again, right? There was the Mystic Flare used, as you mentioned, but immediately saved. And with that, once you got that Cold Embrace, you were liking actually the magical damage. You already used all your burst. There was the Holy Locket I was talking about. The Radiance might have been able to sort of take him down with the Arcane Bolts, but the Holy Locket made sure that was impossible. Alliance, now they're rethinking their strats. They gotta find the solo kills, make it so these engagements are not as difficult, so it's not a full 5-on-5. But Seb, the Mystic Flare, this time is going to work. The Sharpshooter was there to take off Seb's head. Mail is the next target. He does use the Berserker Skull. Extra armor for now. They hit him with the arrow. Saksa protecting his king, and what a royal guard. So Mail will be able to get away thanks to Saksa's efforts. No till two.
Well, I could have been invisible.
Maybe almost went right on top of where Sumail was teeping away. That was a little close for comfort. So he's not going to be able to find him. I'm sure Sumail saw the Radiance burn and maybe went a little monk ass, but he's all good to go. Top, and he's continue farming BOTs.
Dire's middle tower is under
he's
attack.
very, very fast.
Thank you for that call. Up here analysis. We got the Ethereal Blade as well on the Morphling. So now we can say Morphling kind of came online, right? He went for like a stats build and then deviated into the shotgun a bit later. Gives you the viability of going for both, not immediately into the shotgun, which would have made you a bit too weak this game. I agree with his choice, but it stops him. So at some point he has to build his Ethereal Blade. It's in his contract, right? So.
I believe it is. No, I believe it is. Speaking of, okay, Saksa though is going to get hit by the silence and cut down rather quickly. Nikobaby very eagerly getting right into the face of the Moron. Great Fire Blast. And he's going to be able to do that a little bit more effectively as he's just about to finish off this overwhelming blink. And into the eye of Scotty. Nikobaby Wraith.
Okay. Well, overwhelming blink first. We've seen this before from... What's Nikobaby that we're casting with this as well, where he actually kind of rushed the overwhelming blink to a degree?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So what's the idea here? Cancels Blink Daggers and Axe, stops Primal Spring, so that's pretty useful. A bit more magical damage, I guess, on the Winter Skirt or the Cold Embrace. So if you still have it off cooldown by some miracle, you will be able to burst down someone that's been saved. That could be a potential. Also better farming.
Yeah, it's good versus these illusions of Axe as well, because it basically, you know, removes that attack speed bonus if you do get from the counter helix. And other than the Manta style, you don't really build too many attack speed items onto the Axe. So that is going to be a little bit of a large DPS, a little bit of a large. It is a pretty minus DPS here. There's Cleave Link right in the face of Seb as when they go for this team fight. They've already gotten rid of No Tail, so there's no Winter's Curse available. Nikobaby in a bit of trouble. Sumail just running him down as Seb and Thompson both looking to try and get Haskin. They have cut down the tree of Seb, though. Stopped for a couple of seconds as he now will look to rejoin the fight. Thompson in the Timbersaw form, diving underneath the tier 2 tower, will lose the Aegis. The rest of Alliance will set up around him for the second line.
Misses, but they do have the toss to continue with the Wraith Fire Black. Thompson gets full strength though. How are you going to bring him down? 2k HP left. Alliance has to keep up on Thompson, but they might still be able to find some stragglers. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They're going for Thompson again. He took a different path. Thompson grabs the 2 boxes. Well, they qualified. And actually going back in. Thompson just waiting. Sumail's going for the squirrel. Goodbye to FNG. Well, the E-Blade, Nikobaby, well, how are they going to hit anything here? S4 or Nikobaby, they're going to go with a man against the man with only one life. But they don't want to get out of this Wukong's command. Nikobaby re-engaging yet again. The arrow misses. Want to kill Sam. Actually toss it forward. Says, I'll deal with Sam. You go for the Mirana, and Sam is already dead. Limp, acknowledging he was strong enough to finish off the Monkey King. Saksa will die to Hanskin. Alliance end up turning the turn of the team fight.
Yep. Tide has been turned quite easily there over to the likes of Alliance. I think it ends up here in their favor. Yeah, 4 dead for OG. The fact that they're able to dispatch of No-Tail. It was Aegis as well. Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, it's just Aegis on Morphling. Wasn't a death, that's what I'm saying. It was 3 dead plus Aegis.
Good point. Good point. 3 dead plus Aegis. I mean, it's huge, though. It's so big that they're able to get rid of No-Tail immediately in that fight, because then there's no concerns whether or not they group up anymore. You're not really that scared of them after that. Ends up biting them a bit in the butt, because Sumail, it does, you know, much like IOTW did yesterday, they are able to catch Thompson, saved a bit, though. The magic damage is not enough. There's so much healing right now onto the Morphling, but not enough. At the end of the day, Limp is going to be able to right-click through him as soon as he pops out of that golden brace. Nikobaby might consider going up high ground, but can't. Now that the Arctic Burn is that dagger on.
I have liked that the overall Limp pickup though. He's able to just chase after the supports really easily. An issue with the extra amount of damage, of course, it's boosted by the Ancient Seal Veil Discord. It's been good here for Nikobaby, and the extra tankiness is definitely welcome. Now they can go for some downs, using the Assault Harass, of course, to their advantage. Another one, Blink, hoping to burst out the Mirana. They use the Mystic Flare, everything in the power, goes into this spell of silence. She's to leap away, Saksa, they hit the first, but she's down. They lost Saksa, but it's James. OG might want to take down Limp. They're chasing after him. BKB is an active hit, really wants this kill, but Limp, he's only getting away. Sam will jump on top. That's going to guarantee it. As Sam sets up the Wukong's command, doesn't want S4 chasing after, but S4 still wants to kill Sumail. Who's going to protect him this time? Nikobaby so close to die, but he's still in second life anyway. Sumail's going to miss back things to Roots of Travel, so Nikobaby will have to settle for No-Tail. As Sam has been left behind, Alliance is now starting to sandwich him. They all go against Sam, who gets healed by the Golden Brace. No-Tail will have to pay for these hits. Although it's Wicked, No-Tail's down for the count. That's a dieback, but still, Sam guaranteeing the kill of the Monkey King as the world dies. All the Morphling creatures are falling, and now it's only the big beefy boys fighting it out. They don't want to continue. This Alliance is started with all this bloodlust. OG is not done yet. As they go for S4 with Chaotic, he still has a Timber Chain, but so does Thompson. And the shotgun on top of that Lotus Sword, so he won't be slowed. Instead, Nikobaby actually from behind. He saw the Mirana, wants the Mirana, but instead he's only going to find his own death. Nikobaby at the greed.
I feel better already.
Extremely greedy play by him, and he didn't even get the support as a result.
Yeah, that was a bit brutal. Good buyback out from No-Tail in the middle of that really, really long fight to make sure that he's able to at least bait them out a little bit longer. Sumail just looking to drag people back in. I mean, that fight started off, I mean, there's so many things to recount. Limp really making the Tiny look just super broken as well, able to blink in and just kidnap Sumail, who has got to use BKB super early on just to get back onto his own high ground. Oh, it's a close one. But you can't just get into the fountain of OG that easily. You know, they're the ones that usually want to go swimming first.
What I'm kind of loving about these fights is that, honestly, I can't really tell who's winning them, and I think neither of the teams can either, because they keep baiting each other, and sometimes I'm questioning if they're baiting themselves to a degree. I mean, I think the end Nikobaby was a bit too much, but all these plays that Alliance is making, like, it's this philosophy that Alliance has been taking that allowed them to get all these sneaky kills out of it. So even though maybe that play was a bit too far, I don't disagree with the idea behind it, which is let's keep trying to get these sneaky kills where OG least expects it. We have insane pickup potential, but in 5-on-5 we're a bit weaker. So the best advantage, the best way to use this is to use OG's chaos against them.
Yeah, I thought I juked myself out there for a second. Seb had an item on the core I didn't see. It's Helm of the Iron Will, and I thought he just had queued up a Divine Rapier casually. I was like, Seb, not like this. Go Satanic first.
Yeah, it's Nullifier this time because he saw the Aeon Disc. He's not going to let that happen again. I think the Aeon Disc was a good pickup. Oh, the smoke. Someone will fade Sumail actually comes in. He doesn't want to oversplit himself. Sumail will able to last this. He has a BKB. Going for the Wraithing first. It's difficult though. Nikobaby still has a second life. Window Skirts reset the fight. Actually, Reed, perhaps? OG? They have the low ground right now. They need to recover the high ground if they really want to fight this appropriately. Thompson turning into the Wraith King, got the crit out of it. And actually, gonna kill Nikobaby with the illusion. Not going for Link. Mason Flambo is first without Samael. Wasn't expecting that amount of damage. Golden Break at least huge. Saving Thompson. He has been silenced though, but he is full strength already. Nikobaby somehow still alive. He hasn't even lost his first life. Instead, the poor little Thompson trying to get away. Even with full strength, he doesn't have the resilience to tank all of Alliance's damage, and they'll lose 2 here, OG. Thinking they could do it, but unable to bring down the Wraith King even once.
Yeah, he ends up getting level 25, I want to say halfway into that fight. So he's got that Mortal Strike cooldown, which of course is going to be a huge amount of lifesteal for him every single 2 seconds. On top of this high of Scotty in the middle of that fight, making this a really, really difficult game for OG, which is as soon as they go in, and they're kind of just committed, whether they like it or not. Second Roshan of the game, Aegis Chief, and then Aghanim Shard. They do at least the secret shop. It's not going to do much to stop them from completing Roshan.
I like this strat. Alliance realized that the true weakness that OG has is the reincarnation. So like, why don't we just give it to a second hero? And then that way, 2 heroes are unkillable. Literally 1,019 plays. He also got Shard out of it. So that's
Radiant's
nice.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So I think the reason Sumail ends up not having match style there was because he's got Flicker, so he's depending on being able to use a Flicker to make sure he can get out of what on us for. Aeon Disc, of course, being dispelled by that Nullifier. Oh baby, he's immediately in on a no-tell. Lost off his first from coming through, but they've got 4-step Sharpshooter just barely out of reach here. They drag back Nikobaby just barely. He's been caught this Minotaur horn, though, to escape and down to the low ground. The rest of his team is here to support him.
Alliance finding their time. They know that there's no need to rush this, they'll just wait it out. But OG, because of the axe, they also have some pretty solid lane clear here, and some good high ground defense. Mind you, we haven't been able to see it because Nikobaby, as soon as he sees the high ground, he's like, oh, I have to jump this, or and he just blinks right forward, trying to kill one of the supports here. Oh, we're gonna see the blink. There's the sharpshooter that Richie was just barely.
Clip the wing. Luckily, yeah. It's a wyvern, not a dragon from Game of Thrones, so it doesn't go down instantly.
That's true. Good thing for no-tail, because if they lost the winter wyvern there, they would have been without any counter initiation options, and that'd be a real pickle for OG right now.
They're just not really that scared though of the rest of the counter initiation. Like Seb is mean and he's tanky for sure, and if he's allowed to, does a lot of damage, but burst that they have, they can pretty easily get through him.
They figured out the hoodwink at the shard then.
This will come in handy.
Yeah, decoy. Honestly, pretty good shard, though. It's the only issue, of course, is that you need to you can control the illusion. You need to be quite clever with it, but I think it's quite a good shard. If it wasn't for the long cooldown, I think it'd be better. But it's 1,400 gold, so what? Are you gonna give it another OP ability?
Dire's structures are fortified.
It needs to be able to escape. That's also going to give the early warning system for Thompson to go ahead and back away, as he was also farming nearby. S4 though, closing the map across the map rather quickly with that 25 talent. Thompson is going to try and fight up. He's got some mail here, so it's a bit of a bait. Aeon Disc is out. Not have the the nullifier that they need. FNG though on the other side of the map. Lions are still looking to poke and prod in the base. They're losing. OG are losing, actually. Saksa in trouble, saved momentarily by the stun, but he leaps down to the low ground and is picked off by FNG. There's a dunk at least onto S4, who does not have buyback. We gotta get back and defend these barracks.
S4, you had to die for this as Alliance. They're taking the racks. Your death was worth it. Don't worry, brother. Oh no, the Tiny got cut out with a Berserker's Call. But Nikobaby actually wants to fight this. They don't need S4. Nikobaby alone can do this. They hit him with a nullifier. Or no, actually he avoided it. Never mind, because he was invisible in time. It's a nail. There's still the Ray Fire Blast. Nikobaby's not leaving your base, it seems like. Nikobaby's confused. He thinks this is his base now. He's going for Thompson. This time the nullifier will hit. As Thompson desperately trying to murder the squirrel. Unsuccessfully though. We still have cheese on Nikobaby, so I think he's gonna fry. But he might realize that without a Timber Saw, there's just no need to play this aggressive.
Classic S4 play, distracting enemies so that your team can take base. It's gonna work out pretty nicely as they are able to secure the entire top lane of barracks. Wow, already Octarine core. here. This fight started off. Shooter. Oh wow, they just completely assassinated No-Tail. Didn't even see it coming.
That was a very dramatic death with the slow motion as well. That looks like Game of Thrones there for a second. Thompson gets it, Lucian he's doing it out, of course he is. Nikobaby really want that illusion room, but will that be punished? We'll see. Nikobaby still has the second life, and the cheese. Of course, wouldn't go the earliest, but comes back in there, the cheese, and Thompson will fall. Winter's curse though, we set the fight for that. Thompson is gonna have enough damage. The explosions are hitting us in the mouth, and they want to take. They won't take it. As from behind, Monkey King sets up the Wukong's command. Sam, how are you gonna survive this? You maybe with a cold embrace, the force that we're talking about, it's gonna work out. It's gonna save Sam. Nikobaby still has the second life though, and Sam will regardless fall, lifting back into this. The guy, that is not what he was looking for there. Barely got away with his life earlier, and now the sacrifice hit. Will that Phoenix hit for Sumail? We'll see in a second. S4 is trying his best to kill off the Zac. Needs him from a stun. FNG, where's your pushback now? Using the sharpshooter in desperation. That's not going to stop that TP. Nikobaby instead finding a portal of Morphling, stunning off Thompson. Thompson has been hexed, and they want some roasted pig for dinner. The question is, will they get the flip helping him out with the Voice Fire Blast? Settling the kill. Alliance not leaving any survivors. That's a dieback for Thompson.
Yeah, it is. Hanskin, he dies back for that, but he does so much damage in this fight. He ends up getting the kill credit for the death on Seb. And now, I mean, you've got buyback on Seb. Sasha's back at 9, but Morphling is both of your damage here. Morphling's been able to distract him long enough. As Nikobaby, there's blood in the water, immediately diving tier 4 is onto Sumail. Gets embraced now at least by No-Tail. Make sure he's healed up plenty. As Forza retaining away, Sumail now looking to displace Nikobaby here. With that call, Nikobaby taking a bit of damage as Seb is going to be able to set up the Wukong's command around, and Nikobaby goes right back in onto No-Tail, trying to at least get rid of these backline supports. As for King with nullifiers, the Dom didn't go through out from Sumail. He tried, but with too much HP for Nikobaby. He's not even dead yet. Life stealing even more off Seb. As the stun will connect, he'll finally end up losing that first life. That's a buyback now on Seb.
I don't know how you defend this now. It's Axe versus the world with the help of a Mirana. Sox has done so much before, but no, Sox are only going to get a chance to help here. He has to lead to safety instead of going for Sumail. Sox has already been bursted. They've won the last one. He's going to be 4 Axe with 3 top charges. Sumail won't last this. The 5X come out, but Alliance, they're now running rampant in the OG base. OG has 2 people to defend this again. But this time they only have a single life. That better be a valuable one.
Doing his best. He did it yesterday versus Enigma, just trying to get the enemies to dive a little bit too far, but Alliance focusing onto the buildings. Tier 4 is down. There's the jump back in. No-Tail stunned for a second. Shotgun is out, and all killed off by the tree. It's going to be No-Tail. Right back on in as they toss him off and down and up again. That time they got an illusion, but it's not going to matter. Throne is down. It's going to